It's 11 p.m. You told them to go to bed an hour ago. You walk past their door and you see the glow under it. Phone light. Maybe they're gaming. Maybe just scrolling into oblivion. So you knock. Get off your phone. Go to sleep. I'm not tired. I don't care. Tomorrow's a school day. Fine. The light goes off. You walk away feeling like you won. But you didn't, because 2 hours later they're still awake. And tomorrow morning you'll spend 45 minutes trying to drag them out of bed. They'll be a zombie all day. They can't focus in school, they're irritable at home, and the cycle repeats every single night. And you've tried everything. Taking the phone at night, earlier bedtimes, no screens after dinner, you've tried threats, consequences. Nothing sticks. Because here's what's actually happening. You're trying to fix the problem at night when the real problem is in the morning. Here's the thing. You can't force someone to sleep. You can make them lie in bed, you can take away their phone, but if their body isn't actually tired, they'll just lie there, staring at the ceiling, getting more frustrated, getting more wired. And here's what most parents miss. If they're not tired at night, it's because they weren't tired enough during the day. Think about it. When was the last time they physically exhausted themselves? When did they last move their body hard enough that sleep wasn't optional, it was inevitable? For most teenagers, never. Not anymore. They sit in school all day. They sit in the car. They sit at home. They're mentally overstimulated, socially drained, emotionally exhausted, but their body hasn't done anything. And a body that hasn't worked doesn't need rest. So they're wired at 11 p.m., not because they're defiant, but because they genuinely aren't tired. And here's where it gets worse. Because they stayed up late, you let them sleep in. Or they hit snooze 17 times and drag themselves out of bed at the last possible second. So their day starts late. Their body wakes up late. Their energy peaks late. And now you expect them to be tired at a reasonable hour. It's not going to happen. Because their entire rhythm has shifted. It's like jet lag. If you wake up at noon, you're not going to be tired at 9 p.m. Your body hasn't been awake long enough. So nighttime becomes this battle you can't win because you already lost it that morning when you let them sleep in. So here's what actually works. Stop trying to control nighttime and you start controlling the morning. Step 1, non-negotiable wake-up time. Every day, same time. Weekdays, weekends. Doesn't matter. If they stayed up until 3 a.m., it's even easier. They still get up, whatever your time is. Let's say 7 a.m. No sleeping in. No, just this once. No mercy. I know it sounds harsh, but here's the truth. Everyone falls asleep if they're tired enough, and if they're waking up at 7 a.m. every single day, even after a terrible night's sleep, by that night, their body will be begging for rest. They won't need to be told to go to bed. They'll collapse. Step 2, morning movement. As soon as they're up, they have to move. This is good for adults. Go for a run, a workout, even just a walk around the block. Something that gets their body moving, working, because physical tiredness is what creates real sleep. Not mental exhaustion, not screen fatigue, physical work. You want them sleeping by 10? Get them moving at 7 a.m. Step 3, let them be tired. This is the hardest part. If they stayed up late and now they're exhausted all day, good. Don't rescue them. Don't let them nap. Don't let them skip school. Don't write them a little note to the teacher saying little Johnny's tired, little Julius had a late night last night. Let them feel it. Let them drag through the entire day knowing this is what happens when I don't sleep. After 1 or 2 days of that, they start making different choices. Not because you lectured them, because their body taught them. I need to go to sleep. Step 4, reset the rhythm. It takes about 3 days. 3 days of early wake-ups. 3 days of no naps. 3 days of physical movement. And their circadian rhythm resets. This is actually useful for you too as an adult if you have the same problem. It's like recovering from jet lag. The first few days are brutal. But if you hold the line, if you don't let them sleep in, if you make mornings non-negotiable, their body adapts. And suddenly, nighttime isn't a battle anymore because they're actually tired. Here's why this is different from everything else you've tried. You're not fighting them at night when you're exhausted. You're setting the structure in the morning when you still have energy. Nighttime, you're tired. You don't have the willpower to enforce boundaries. You don't have the patience for a 3-hour standoff. But mornings? Mornings are non-negotiable. Alarm goes off. They get up. You're not debating it. You're not negotiating it. It just is. You're working with biology, not against it. You can't force someone to fall asleep, but you can make someone tired enough that sleep isn't optional. When their body is genuinely exhausted, when they've been up since 7 a.m., I like to say 5, but 7 sounds more reasonable. When they've moved hard that morning, sleep happens naturally. You don't have to force it. You're building a habit that serves them for life. This isn't about fixing their sleep now. This is about teaching them how their body works. Physical movement creates tiredness. Consistent wake times regulate everything. You can't cheat biology. You have to work with it. These are lessons they'll use forever. And let me be real about what happens when you make the shift. The first few days are going to suck, like I said. They stayed up till 2. Now you're waking them at 7. They're going to be miserable. They're going to complain. They're going to drag. Let them drag. Don't cave. Don't feel guilty. This is their reset. They'll push back hard. This is cruel. You're torturing me. I can't function like this. And you say, you're right. It's hard. That's what happens when you stay up late. Your body's learning. That's it. No lecture. It's just reality. And then it clicks. By day 3 or 4, something shifts. It doesn't take kids long. They're exhausted by 7, 8, 9 p.m. They're not fighting sleep anymore. They're craving it. And suddenly, the nighttime battles stop for you. Not because you won the argument, but because their body figured it out. Look, I know this feels hard. I know waking them up at 7 a.m. after they've stayed up until 3 a.m. feels mean. But here's the thing. Letting them sleep in isn't kindness. It's enabling a cycle that destroys their health, their mood, their relationships. The real kindness is teaching them how to regulate their own body, how to build routine that serves them, how to respect their own energy. And that starts with the morning, not at night. If you're stuck in this cycle right now, where every night is a fight and every morning is a disaster, I've got more for you. The link below will take you deeper into exactly how to rebuild their routine from the ground up. How to enforce morning structure without it feeling like a war. How to use natural consequences instead of lectures. And how to get them moving in ways that actually tire them out and that they enjoy. This is fixable, but it starts with the morning. Click the link. Let's sort it out.